What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So after posting my review on Acorns Investing, many of you have asked that I review another investing app known as Stash. And no joke, this was such a popular request that at least a few hundred of you have asked for this just in the last week alone. So as you all know, if enough of you ask for something, then you shall receive. So with that said, let's go over exactly what Stash is, how they make their money, if it's a good way for you to make money, and whether or not it's actually worth it. And all I ask in return for all of the hours of research that goes into making an unbiased review like this and staying up way late at night reading all of the fine print and not having a life and editing this video nonstop to try to get it posted today is just a simple like on the video. Something as small as just doing that helps out the YouTube algorithm, it helps out my entire channel, and I found it also helps the performance of the video. So that's all. If you just do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And with that said, let's get into the video. So first, let's start here. What is Stash? Stash is really just an investing platform that helps automate your investing, but they do have a few very distinctive twists that make it a little bit more unique than some of the others. First, they do what's called micro investing, which means that you can invest as little as $5 into what's called a fractional share. This basically means you could buy a percentage of a stock without needing to buy the full thing. Now, this is not unique to Stash. Plenty of other companies do this too, but it's always less intimidating to buy in with a smaller amount, just if that's what you have available to you. For example, you can invest $5 into Amazon without needing to come up with the full $2,000 to buy the entire stock. And with $5, you could still say you're invested in Amazon stock, except you only own 1/400th of one stock, hence the fractional share. Now, secondly, they have a wide range of investments that you could choose from depending on your goals, how aggressive you want to invest, and the time frame you want to hold that investment. Now, third, what's very unique to Stash is that they offer what's called stock back. This is a feature that allows you to earn stocks as a reward anytime you use your debit card for purchases within certain companies. For example, if you use your debit card to buy something on, let's say, Amazon, they'll give you back a small percentage of Amazon stock as a reward for using the debit card and shopping at Amazon. The same could also apply through many other companies that you could be shopping with. Now, fourth, Stash also gives you the option to open up a Roth IRA, and with that, they give you the option to open up a Roth IRA for your children to get them started on their investing journey so that one day they could be Lambo rich and be like driving mega yachts everywhere, because that's what you do with Roth IRA money. But with all that fancy verbiage and investment terms and money talk, is Stash actually worth it? And I spent, no joke, about 2.5 hours reading through all the terms and conditions, all the fine print, all the boring yada yada yada, just to find out and just to make this video. Because I'm weird, but I'm really glad I did, because this is what I found out, and it all begins with their pricing tier. So to start, their basic plan begins at a mere $1 per month, which is very similar to Acorns Investing that I mentioned the other week. This gives you access to their personal investment account where you can invest in $5 increments like I mentioned earlier. Now, even though I think they do have decent investment options, it does seem a bit limited to me. Like, while they do have a wide selection of available options, you're pretty much just buying Vanguard ETFs and broad index funds that they have pre-selected for you that you could pretty much buy anywhere. And pretty much at that point, you're basically just using Stash as the broker or the intermediary through purchasing those funds. But when it comes to that $1 a month fee, here's where things start getting a little bit iffy from my perspective. First, the $1 a month fee is up to the first $5,000 you have invested, which I'm not gonna lie, to me that is just absurdly high. Like, if you have $4,000 invested with Stash, you're paying $12 a year just for a fee of investing, which works out to be 0.3% of your investment every single year. This is gone. This is gone. That's gone. And when it comes to investing, you could pretty much buy the exact same funds through Vanguard, which only charges you 0.04% as a fee, or almost the exact same thing through Fidelity, which charges, wait for it, nothing. They charge nothing because it's free. And I love free. So from the way I see it from that perspective, Stash is just very expensive to use. But of course, now you might be asking yourself, well, Graham, what happens if you invest more than $5,000? Well, that's a very good question, because that means after $5,000, they charge you a ridiculous amount to invest your money, except it's just a slightly less ridiculous amount to invest your money. Because when that happens, your management fee lowers from $1 a month to 0.25% of all the money you have invested. Now again, 0.25% might not seem like a lot of money, but when you consider that Vanguard is 0.04% as a management fee, and Fidelity is entirely free with no management fee, and Acorns only charges you $1 a month up to the first $1 million you have invested, in comparison, Stash just seems expensive. So from my own perspective, just from this alone, I am just not a fan of Stash at all. And this part is very unclear because I couldn't find it anywhere in the terms and conditions, and I read through everything, but it looks as though you'll be paying Stash the 0.25%, and then you'll pay the management fee on the ETF on top of that could range anywhere from 0.04% all the way up to 0.95%. So you could end up paying a lot more than you initially realized for really not much benefit just besides using their app. Now next, besides that one, you're also gonna get access to their debit card, which honestly, I just don't get the point of. Sure, if you need access to go and spend your money, okay, maybe I get it. But if you guys know me and watch my videos, you know that I will never, ever, ever use a debit card for anything ever, when you could just use a credit card instead. You can get the points, you can get the purchase protection, you get all the perks of using a credit card, and also being just a financially responsible adult who puts money on a credit card and then pays it off in full. There really shouldn't be any reason for you to ever use a debit card, but Stash tries to give you a reason to use a debit card, which is this. Because third, they offer what's called stock back. Now this is a feature where if you use their debit card within certain merchants, they will give you back a fraction of that merchant's stock as a reward for using the debit card. So like I mentioned earlier, if you go and spend $100 on Amazon, they will give you back some Amazon stock as a reward or incentive for going and using the debit card. Well, the thing is, the difficult part for me was actually finding the terms and conditions that specify exactly how much stock they give back as a reward for using the debit card. Now, I'm not sure if this was intentional or not. I gotta say, I'm good at doing research on this stuff, and for me, it was difficult to find. The only way I was able to find this is by going to Google and searching stock back, Stash, terms and conditions, and then linking through it through that. So thank you, Google, for that. But I could not seem to find it on Stash. Maybe this was just me, or maybe not. So anyway, once I found their terms and conditions, here's what they say. Upon a qualifying debit card purchase, you will earn a fractional share of a stock. Stock reward amounts will be a dollar amount equal to 0.125% of the aggregate amount of the qualifying purchase, or if greater, a fixed dollar amount of 1 cent per qualifying purchase. So that's right, if you spend $100 on Amazon, they're going to give you a whopping 12.5 cents back on $100 you spent. 12.5 cents. Let me just share this quick money-making tip with all of you watching. If you want a reward by buying something, all you need to do is open up the Citi Double Cash Rewards credit card. They will give you back 2% on all purchases. So if you spent that same $100 on Amazon, you would get back $2 instead of 12.5 cents. And you could pretty much just use any rewards credit card out there and get more benefits and more points and more cash back than you could get using the debit card through Stash. So for me, I see this all as a gimmicky mess that just seems a lot better than it actually is. If they ever end up increasing the reward to 1.5 to 3%, then certainly I would feel a lot differently about this and I would be a lot more incentivized to use the debit card. But any less than that, and I gotta say, it's a no from me, dog. And finally, the last reward that they offer you for $1 a month, they give you free financial education, which is something you could already get for free on YouTube, on Google, on Reddit, on the internet, but you know what? It's free, and I like free, so anything they give you for free, the more free, the better. Now let's go up to the next tier. If you're feeling a little bit spendy and you want to spend a whopping $3 a month. This gives you the exact same benefits as the $1 tier, except now you're able to get access to their investment account, an IRA. With this, you have the option to go for a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, but let's be real, spending an additional $2 a month to open an IRA with any account balances under $5,000 is not fun. You're gonna have a bad time. To me, that's just ridiculous and way too expensive, and let's be real, who has the extra money to throw on an extra $2 a month like that? I don't have that. But hey, you know what? On the bright side, once you get above $5,000, then their fee lowers down from $2 a month to the same 0.25% that you get on their taxable accounts, which is still very, very, very high. Like I said, Vanguard is 0.04% and Fidelity is free. So spending almost 10 times more for the same management fee just for using Stash doesn't make sense to me. Plus, I also believe you're still paying the normal ETF fee on top of the Stash fee, which makes this just insanely more expensive. So from my perspective, why anyone would ever do this is beyond me, but hey, you know what? That's what you get for $3 a month, or that's what you get for a 0.25% management fee. And finally, for all of you rich ballers out there who have $9 a month to spend, basically the price of avocado toast every month, this is what you get. First, you get the option to open up an investing account for 2 children, which for me, I don't have 2 children, so that's no use for me. And if you do have 2 kids, then I believe you're still overpaying for something you could get for pretty much free by going elsewhere. Now second, for $9 a month, you'll also get a metal debit card. That's right, we got a metal debit card. Millennial money alert. Millennials love metal cards like that, and Stash appeals to millennials with a metal debit card. And of course, with that, you also get 2x stock backs, which means they'll double your stock back rewards from 12.5 cents to 25 cents on every $100 purchase. Now again, maybe, just maybe, if they're offering a special promotion where they're giving 5% back as a stock reward and you could double that to 10% and you spend a lot of money with that, then just maybe you can break even or get your money's worth when it comes to that. Maybe. But I just can't imagine and wrap my head around how spending $9 a month on a metal debit card and 2x stock back rewards would ever be worth it for a reward that's just absurdly low to begin with. And even if you double it, it's still absurdly low compared with just about any cashback credit card you could possibly get right now and use just about anywhere. It doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't get it. I've been trying to get it. It doesn't make sense. But hey, you know what? At least on the bright side, they give you a monthly market financial report, which again, you could pretty much just get for free anyway on CNBC, on CNN Money, on Reddit, on YouTube. But hey, you know what? That's none of my business. So really, when it comes to all of this and using Stash, here are my completely honest thoughts. So as usual, I should just say this. Doing something and investing is better than doing nothing. So if Stash gets you investing, it gets you budgeting, it gets you thinking about your money and your future, even if it costs you an absurd amount of money to do so, that is better than not investing at all in the first place. So from that perspective, I'm just happy people are investing. I'm happy people are looking at their finances. I'm happy people are thinking about their budget. And again, if Stash is the way that they do it, that is good with me as long as people are getting into it. But I gotta say, for everyone else who has a moderate amount of self-control and doesn't mind spending 5 minutes of their time doing some research, there are plenty of other cheaper alternatives that give you the exact same thing for the most part for a fraction of the price. Literally, one fund could be all you need with Vanguard, and that is just VT Sachs and you're done, or you can go with the free option with Fidelity, and that's VizRox, which has 0 fees. And both companies allow you to open up a Roth IRA without charging you anything. Now, in terms of the stock back program, to me, come on, that's stupid. Just open up a Citi Double Cash Rewards credit card with 2% cash back. If you want to get some cash back on something, that's the way to do it. And if you do a lot of shopping on Amazon, then just open up the Amazon Prime Rewards card and get 5% cash back on all Amazon purchases. That is way, way better than the 0.125% that you get back as a stock back program reward on Stash. Like, to me, that amount is just like a slap in the face. That's insulting. They just insulted me by offering 0.125% rewards. Come on. So overall, in my opinion, from my perspective, because this is not financial advice, all of this is for entertainment purposes only, and you should do your own research, Stash, to me, It's just not worth it, and I don't see the point. Now, yes, it's still better than doing nothing, but that isn't an excuse not to do something better, because it takes a few seconds just to download any other app instead that is slightly less expensive. Like Acorns is a less expensive option. Even though it doesn't offer the stock back program, you can get that with a credit card way better anyway. And Acorns only charges $1 a month for up to the first $1 million you have invested. Like, I'm very happy that financial education is slowly starting to get more mainstream and it gets people excited about investing, but there are so many other cheaper alternatives out there that take the same amount of time just to set up. And with Stash, it just isn't worth it from that perspective, in my perspective. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to add me on my second channel. It's called The Graham Stephan Show. Posting there every day. I'm not posting here, which is great. Also, make sure to add me on Instagram. I post it pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, add me on Instagram. Also, make sure to subscribe. That costs nothing per month. You want to subscribe, that is totally free. That gives a very good ROI for subscribing, and I post 3 videos a week, so make sure to subscribe. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.